Welcome friends, today we are going to look into the Hindu newspaper, that is we are going to analyze the Hindu newspaper dated 25th August 2023. So there are some of the important news which we will be going to cover is important aspect from BRICS summit and India-China dialogues, and then there was a news related to Chandrayaan 3 regarding the rover and all. So we will be discussing it in details, and every news will be covered from examination point of view, and we will also discuss how questions can be formed in the examination in the entire video. Side by side we will be doing that exercise as well, and we will also be covering additional informations that are not usually provided in the newspaper. So we will not stretch the initial part, and let's start. First we will be saying about India China relations. Basically there was a summit that was held recently. Okay, now the important news here is that around 6 countries have been added into BRICS. Okay, the summit was BRICS summit, which was held in Johannesburg, that is in South Africa. Okay, now here in this during this summit, Prime Minister Modi, Narendra Modi, one second, give me a minute. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chinese Premier Xi Jinping had a dialogue. Okay, and they discussed about several things, and one of the agenda or one of the major thing was about India-China relations or the border issues. Okay, you know that there were frequent border troubles going on between India and China. Now they discussed and they all agreed, that is Chinese Premier and Indian Prime Minister agreed that we have to settle the issue so that the economic relation would move on ahead. Okay, so that was the basic news. Now in this news a term came across, that is line of actual control. Okay, the line of actual control. Okay, one second, this the line of actual control, so we will see where actually exactly is this line of actual control. The line of actual control is around 520 kilometers long. Okay, it is in Jammu and Kashmir. Say this area is Chinese occupied India portion. They have aggressed and they occupied this region. So India considers it as a integral part of India. However, China claims it to be their part. Now this is a line of actual control, that is the authority or the policing or the military policing is conducted through this line. So mostly the disputes are happening in this region frequently. Now what we have to see is this line of actual control is a issue, that is it's a bone of contention between India and China. You might have heard about Siachen and glacier and all that. There also sometimes a tough situation or a conflict like situation arises between India and China. Again, thereafter we had recently, that is 2017 Doklam standoff was there. Okay, you might have heard Doklam standoff. It was in this region. Okay, it was in this region, and the conflict arose in this region. That is this is the chicken neck area. Means if China happens to attack this area, that is around Sikkim, then the problem is that India will lose control of northeast. Okay, that is why China is trying to occupy that region, or in future they are trying to militarize this zone, so that in future if they have a war-like situation with India, then they can attack this region, that is this region, and isolate northeast from India. That would be a strategic move, and it will hurt India in a great way. So that is what China is trying to do. So such conflicts have been there with India and China for a long time now. Now in this BRICS summit they wanted that this issue should be resolved so that they can carry on the trade relation. We will look into how the trade relation is going on between India as well. First of all, we will understand this map. That is basically if we see Jammu and Kashmir borders with China, then comes Himachal Pradesh. Okay, and then UK, that is Uttarakhand. Okay, then is Sikkim, and then Arunachal Pradesh. You know that regularly China tries to occupy a certain region or tries to patrol around the Arunachal region, which is India's part, and they also claim that certain areas of Arunachal Pradesh belongs to China. So these are the claims by China, and by this method they usually occupy the region. So India has taken a strong stance against this aggression. So basically we have to understand that the total length of India-China boundary, that is India-China boundary, is 4,000, how much? 4,057 kilometer, 4057 kilometer, and LAC, that is line of actual control, is 520 kilometers. Okay. Now the next part is we will be looking into the economic relation between India and China. So recently I told you about the Doklam. See, here the Doklam conflict has been mentioned. That's why I put the particular map in this news, current affairs. Okay. Now, if we have to see about India-China trade relation, we have observed a different trend recently. Okay, earlier that China used to dominate in India-China trade. Okay, means basically we were importing more from China. However, the situation is same now as well. However, the dependency on import has reduced. That's what the data suggests. See, China's export to India in the first half of this year, that is 2023, has totaled USD $56.53 million and compared to $57.51 billion registered last year, that is similar first half of last year, which indicates a decline of 0.9%. That is very important. See, here the crucial thing is there has been a decline in entire trade relation with China. See, it is a minuscule, but if you take it in amounts term, it is around what? $1 billion, right? Around $1 billion, which is a huge amount, right? So we have to see that there is a decreasing dependency on China. However, this is not a affirmative or a positive sign. There may be several reasons for this reduction, but we have to observe the detail in long run. If such a trend is observed, then it would be good, because see, India and China trade, it is the balance of trade is in favor of China, not in favor of India. So we are paying more to China than China is paying to us. So hopefully you understood it. I will explain it to you. Balance of trade is a concept where import and exports value is calculated, right? So if suppose India is exporting $100 billion worth goods to China, so China has to pay India $100 billion, right? However, if China is exporting or India is importing from China $200 billion worth of goods, okay? So India have to pay China how much? $200 billion, right? India have to pay how much? $200 billion. To whom? To China. Okay. India have to pay to China. And as I already told that India's receivable is $100 billion from China. Okay. From China. Sorry. This is the direction from China. Now, if you have to see, if you will deduce, you will understand that India is still payable. The amount that India is supposed to pay China is $100 billion, even after India is exporting $100 billion worth of goods. That is, the balance of trade is in favor of whom? It is in the favor of China. So it is in India's favor that if India-China trade relation decreases, that issue will be resolved to a great extent. However, there are certain goods which we buy from China that cannot be substituted by others, or the cost effectiveness, the cheaper cost that China provides cannot be provided by any other country. So that is one of the reasons that India still has to depend on China. Now the next important information that we have is India's export to China during the same period has totaled 9.49 billion compared to 9.57 billion last year. So that also has decreased. That is, export also has decreased, and import, that is the trade deficit in the first half has also decreased. See, it declined significantly to 47.04 compared to 67.08 billion last year. Now, what is trade deficit? See, trade deficit is what I showed you. See, China exported to India worth $200 billion, right? So India is payable, or India is liable to pay China amount of $200 billion. On the other hand, India exported to China worth $100 billion, right? How much? India exported to China worth $100 billion. So China has to pay India $100 billion. India has to pay China how much? $200 billion. China has to pay India how much? $100 billion. So the gap is called the trade deficit. So the gap is $100 billion. That is, India has to pay China $100 billion. That is, from India's perspective, India has a trade deficit of $100 billion. And from China's perspective, China has a trade surplus of $100 billion. And that means China has to, or is liable to receive $100 billion. On the contrary, India is liable to pay $100 billion, right? So the person who is paying, from their perspective, it is trade deficit, and the person who is going to receive, from their perspective, it is trade surplus. So that is the trade deficit and trade surplus concept. Okay. Now let's move further. Now, as I told you earlier, BRICS, BRICS has been expanded. That is, earlier there were 5 members. You all know that the earlier members were what? Russia, China. We will go by the terminology, that is BRIC. BRIC is Brazil. Okay. First is Brazil. Then comes what? R. R is Russia. Then I for India. Then C for China. And then S for South Africa. Okay. That is the way BRICS is working. Okay. Then now what? 6 countries have been added. See, there has been saying that BRICS is not relevant, or it is a waste of time, or it is not a powerful grouping and all that. Okay. So, however, there was a willingness from several, around 22 countries to join BRICS, even though major countries like US has claimed that BRICS is not relevant in this current economic order. But 22 countries were willing to join BRICS. However, from that 22 countries, we have selected or shortlisted only 6 countries. Now, the question is, which 6 countries? First of all, it is Iran, then UAE, then Egypt, then comes Saudi Arabia, then Ethiopia, and then Argentina. These are the 6 countries which have been added into BRICS. Now, the question is, how will you remember from exam point of view? Okay. The question, the issue has been solved. I made a mnemonic. Might be it will be useful for you. See, BRICS, CU, Air. Okay, BRICS, CU, Air. BRICS, you know, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Then S comes for Saudi Arabia. E comes for Ethiopia. Then Egypt. Then U for what is it? UAE, and A for Argentina, and then IR for what? Iran. So that is BRICS, CU, Air. If you remember this mnemonic, you will be able to recollect in the examination. See, since these new members have been added recently, then there is a greater chance in the upcoming examinations where current affairs questions are asked that this question will be asked. Which of the following, a question can be formed. See, which of the following country is not or has not been added as a part of BRICS? Then your answer should be based on this concept, that you should know the 11 countries, and it is very difficult to remember all. So mnemonics will help you to remember that. So we will be remembering what? BRICS, CU, Air. BRICS, CU, Air. Now, basically this will be what? Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, then SCE, that is SEE. That would be South Africa, it is Saudi Arabia, Ethiopia, Egypt, then Air. Air is Argentina and Iran. Okay, and U, I left here U. Okay, U is for UAE. So you have to remember this concept like this. Now, let's move ahead. We will discuss certain important information regarding BRICS summit. Okay, the 5th BRICS summit is set to held in Johannesburg from 22 to 24 August 2023. That is, it is being held right now. What is BRICS? The question is important. What is BRICS? Say, BRICS was a term that was nailed, or the term was coined by whom? Jim O'Neill. Initially, the grouping had only 4 countries. They were Brazil, Russia, India, and China. Back then, it was not BRICS, it was BRIC, B-R-I-C. Later on, what happened was South Africa also showed interest in joining BRIC. So then, thereafter, it was converted. When South Africa got added into BRIC, then it became BRICS. That was done in 2010. Okay, in 2010, South Africa was added into BRIC, and the BRIC became BRICS. Okay, now current members or the present members are Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, which already we have mentioned. Now the chairmanship or the presidency or the chairmanship goes by rotational. Okay, that is basically if one time Brazil has become, the next time Russia would become, then India would become, China would become, South Africa would become. That is the way how somebody presides over that. Okay, now 2023, that is this present year, South Africa has chaired the the BRICS summit. Okay, now there is another important thing. A new development bank, that is a bank under BRICS, was established during Fortaleza Declaration. It was held in 2015, and the bank's worth was $100 billion. $100 billion was the bank's worth. Basically, this bank invests in infrastructure and developmental projects in the member countries or other countries as well. Now, first summit was held in 16th June 2009 in Russia. Then 15th summit was held in, so that is recent summit is held in 2023, Johannesburg, South Africa. And the 14th summit, that is last year's summit, was held in China in 2022. Now you have to remember one thing, that India has hosted BRICS summit 3 times, okay, 3 times, that is in 2012, 2016 and 2021. Again, one of the most important thing is Russia participated in the present BRICS summit, but due to certain arrest warrants, and you might have heard back then that if Russian president appears to be going out in certain jurisdictions, he might be arrested. That's why Russian President Putin has not attended the summit. Okay, that also is important. Next is BRICS membership, the GDP. See, there are members, that is Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. We will see how much is their GDP. Brazil's GDP is 2.08 trillion and Russia's is 2.06 trillion. India's is 3.74 trillion. On the contrary, if you see, China's GDP is the highest, that is 19.37 trillion, and South Africa is lowest, that is 399 billion. Okay, you have to remember this. Who is the highest? Highest is China, and the second highest is India. Okay, and who is the lowest? It is South Africa, the present members. And now we will look into the 6 new members. Okay, Argentina has a GDP of 641 billion, then Egypt has 384 billion, Ethiopia has 156 billion, Iran has 367 billion, and Saudi has 1.06 trillion. On the last country, that is UAE, has 499 billion. Okay, now if you see, now at present, after adding the new countries, Ethiopia would be having the least GDP, that is 156 billion. Okay, clear? So let's move ahead. Now Chandrayaan rover has been mobility operation. Okay, that means that Chandrayaan's rovers have, that is our Vikram lander has landed, as you know all. So the Pragyan rover has started the mobility, and it will be doing its task assigned to it for the next 14 days. Okay, so now we will see some certain informations which are relevant from examination point of view. First of all, the first mission to soft land on lunar South Pole is India's Chandrayaan 3. Okay, then next is India now joins the United States, Russia and China's club, where they have landed their vessels on moon. Okay, so India will become the 4th country to have successfully landed on moon. Okay, now if we speak about Chandrayaan 3, the lander payloads are Ramba LP, that is it is used to measure the near surface plasma ions. Okay, plasma ions density and its changes with time. Okay, now then comes the CHEST, that is Chandra's surface thermo physical experiment. Then ILSA, it is instrument for lunar seismic activity, to analyze the seismic activity going on lunar surface. Okay, then we will speak about the rover payload. It is APXS. Okay, and then LIPS. APXS means alpha particle X-ray spectrometer, and LIPS stands for laser induced breakdown spectrometer. Now propulsion module, if we speak about propulsion module, it is SHAPE. It is called SHAPE. Okay, it is spectropolarimetry of habitable planet Earth. These are the information which is relevant from examination point of view. Now let's see about ISRO's future endeavors or future expeditions. So there is a Chandrayaan 4 that is coming in future, which will navigate the path of lunar evolution. Okay, they will be collecting samples and coming back to Earth, and then we will analyze the sample. Okay, so that we will be able to understand how the lunar surface evolved over the time. Next comes LUPEX. LUPEX is a lunar polar exploration mission. Now it is done in collaboration with JAXA, that is of Japan. It is a JAXA means Japan Space Organization, and it will be collaborated with ISRO. Now the intention is they will analyze or explore moon's polar region. There is a North Pole and South Pole. India's rover, Vikram has landed on South Pole. Okay, and now what will happen is the Japanese space agency and ISRO will come together so that they can explore the moon's polar region. That is the mission that is known as LUPEX. Okay, Then Aditya L1. Aditya, you know, if it is another name for sun. Okay, so it would be the first space-based Indian mission to study the sun. Okay, it will be studying the outer surface of the sun, the heat, temperature, and all the factors. Okay, then comes XPOSAT, that is X-ray polarimeter satellite. Then is NISAR. NISAR was recently in news many a times, you might be knowing it. It is a joint venture of NASA and ISRO. NASA, ISRO, SAR. Okay, it is a low Earth orbit observatory being jointly developed by NASA and ISRO. It will map the entire globe. Okay, it will be mapping the entire globe in 12 days and provide spatial and temporal consistent data. Okay, it will be helping to analyze the climate and all the factors. Okay, that is the basic purpose of NISAR. Then Gaganyaan would also be in the offing. Okay, Gaganyaan will be launched recently. It is the entire intention or aim of launching Gaganyaan is to send a human in space and bring them back safely to Earth. Okay, you might be knowing that Kalpana Chawla was an Indian who went to space and then came back. But unfortunately, while coming back, the spacecraft or the pod exploded and they all died. Okay, so India's intention is to send astronauts in the space and bring them back so that they can explore the space, outer space. Okay, then comes the Chandrayaan. Chandrayaan means Venus. Okay, now this mission is intended to orbit around Venus and study the planet's atmosphere. Okay, these are the missions that ISRO will be launching in future. Now, another important information that I happened to see, there was an ad of Chennai Petrochemical Corporation Limited, and in that they had mentioned that ISRO Sin. ISRO Sin is a propulsion fuel. Okay, that will be developed jointly by ISRO and CPCL. Okay, in future. So basically, we have to now understand what is ISRO Sin. It is ISRO semi-cryogenic engine. Okay, which is for ISRO semi-cryogenic engines, okay, for in coming years. Now, what is it? It is basically a type of kerosene. Okay, it is a ISRO Sin is a kerosene which is an alternative to conventional hydrogen rocket fuels, and it is a rocket grade version of kerosene. Okay, that is the important factor. Okay, next, Rajasthan will be made TB free by 2025 with sustained efforts. Okay, now Rajasthan has come forward and said that it will be making itself, that is Rajasthan, TB free by 2025. That is a news. Now, there is an important thing that on India's level, there is a scheme or initiative which will make India TB free by 2025. See, you have to understand that the World Health Organization had earlier declared that its intention or its target to eliminate TB by 2030. When it was declared, Indian government or Indian Prime Minister declared that India will eliminate TB by 2025. So that was the India's target, and now Rajasthan has also made the similar target. Okay, now before going to details, first we will see into the missions which are going on in India to eliminate TB. See, here it is the National Tuberculosis Elimination Program. Okay, NTEP, which aims at reducing TB or making India TB free by 2025, and the World Health Organization's TB target is 2030. That is, the world should be made TB free by 2030. Now, India's scheme which is related to the same is Pradhan Mantri TB Mukta Bharat Abhiyan, and it aims to bring the community together and all the doctors and all nurses and all to eliminate this, to make it a Jan Andolan, people's movement, so that TB can be eliminated. Okay, now let's see what TB actually is. TB is an infectious disease. Okay, it is an airborne. You have to understand it. It is an airborne. It spreads through breathing or air. Okay, it spreads through air. See, you can see it. It spreads through air, and it is an infectious disease. That is, it spreads from person to person through air. Now, TB is caused by a bacteria. Okay, tuberculosis is caused by a bacteria named Mycobacterium tuberculosis bacteria. Okay, tuberculosis bacteria, that is Mycobacterium tuberculosis bacteria. Now, if we have to see what are the symptoms, then it is cough with sputum and blood. Then chest pain would be there, weakness would be there, then weight loss would be also seen. Then fever would be evident, and night sweats. Then when you are sleeping, you will be sweating at night. That are the symptoms of this disease. Then the question arises, who are at risk? Okay, another question is, who are at risk? It is simply that children, basically if you have to understand, people with weaker immunity are spawned to such a disease. For example, children, people with HIV, you know, when HIV comes, your immunity is attacked and your immunity goes down. That is the reason people with HIV also get affected. Then smokers, smoking, people who frequently smoke also get infected by TB. Then elderly people. So these are the category of people who get affected by TB. So you have to remember one thing for examination, that is that TB is caused by bacteria named Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Okay, in examination it might be asked that TB, the causative agent of TB is virus, bacteria, parasite, or none of the above. So your answer should be bacteria. Okay, so let's see. We have discussed already. Then another news that came was Norway to become the third country to give F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine. Okay, F-16 fighter jets have been given to Ukraine by other countries as well. For example, Denmark also gave it and Netherlands gave this F-16. You know why they gave it to Ukraine? It is to support Ukraine against Russia. See, Ukraine is a much smaller country compared to Russia, and Russia has been a major power or superpower, and that is why other countries are trying to help Ukraine so that Russia might not control or take over Ukraine. Okay, that is what they are doing. So Norway has become the third country to give F-16 fighters jet to Ukraine. Now let's see certain things about F-16 fighter jets. First of all, it is it can carry 6 air-to-air missiles such as AIM-9 Sidewinder, AIM-120, AIM-RAAM, and other air-to-air missiles. Okay, air-to-air means the missile is launched from the air and the target is also located in air. So that is called air-to-air missile. Now it can carry 1 crew. Certain fighter jets have 2 crews. In this, there is 1 crew. And then general characteristics, if you have to speak, is length is 15.06 meters. Okay, the length, total length is 15.06 meters. Then the wingspan is how much? 9.96 meter. Then the height is 4.8 meter. The empty weight is 8,570 kg. The maximum speed that it can reach when it is on basically around sea level, it is 1.2 Mach, and when it is at high altitude, it is 2. See, that is the maximum speed F-16 fighter jets can achieve. Now, this news is also important. See, to enhance the IAF means Indian Air Force. Okay, efficiency, government buy weapons locally. So, to increase the efficiency of Indian Air Force, government has intended to buy what? Locally made or locally available weapons. Okay, so that is the news. So the estimated proposal or the cost is 7,800. Okay, you have to, from examination point of view, for bank exams, it is very important that this number has been remembered, 7,800. Okay, that is the cost or the amount that government has allotted, okay, for the acquisition. Okay, now there are certain information that in this news which is important. One thing is Project Shakti. Recently a Project Shakti was in news. Okay, Project Shakti. The Project Shakti is a very important aspect, that is because Project Shakti has a specific component of IT, that is there would be a purchase of laptops, okay, laptops and tablets for army, and that would be procured rugged laptops. Rugged means they would be enabled in such a way or made in such a way that they can be used in rugged troposphere, or sorry, not troposphere, it is topography. Okay, that is battlefields and all. If we have to use system, they can't be the normal one that consumers use. Okay, if an army person has to use, it should be strong and durable one. See, the terrain or the conditions on battlefield is very much different from what it is in normal civilian life, right? So considering that in mind, they have designed such laptops, and that will be procured under Project Shakti. You have to remember this for exam point of view, Project Shakti. Okay, now there are other acquisition and all that aspect, but it is not relevant, so we have to just understand these things. Okay, next is Indian Air Force looking to order another 90 LCA means light combat aircrafts, Mk-1A fighter jets. Okay, This will be also be acquired soon. That is also in news. Now next is Japan releases water from Fukushima plant. Japan is going to release water from Fukushima plant. You will be remembering, or might be you have read somewhere, that Fukushima there was a disaster, nuclear disaster, which caused the adjacent region to be uninhabitable, right? And the nuclear plants went on meltdown. So due to that, the water is polluted, and the half-life of nuclear is too much. So that means that if there was a meltdown, that means the adjacent region, the region around it, were contaminated by nuclear waste. And if that water is released in ocean, that would mean that the fish or anything that consumes those water would also be infected or polluted by contaminated by what? Nuclear waste. And if humans consume them, then also that will cause a what we say, a domino effect, right? Means it enters to the food chain and it will be passed on to generations. So that is a very serious issue. However, Japan has decided to release the water from Fukushima plant into the ocean, and that has ired whom? That has ired China. China got irritated and they told that we will not import any seafood from Japan. Okay, because see, if fishes get contaminated by this and China imports them, the people from China will get infected or contaminated by this nuclear waste, and they will be falling sick, and then there will be a genetic issue underlying there. Okay, so that to avoid that, China has decided not to import seafood from Japan. Okay, now here the another thing is that Japan's this water in Fukushima plant was analyzed by IAEA, that is International Atomic Agency. It is an international atomic energy agency which actually controls the civilian purpose or this what we say, enriched uranium for nuclear plants and all that. So they are the one the body that controls nuclear aspect of the various countries. Okay, so they have given a green flag to this project. That is, they have said that the water around the Fukushima plant is okay to be released in ocean, and they are harmless. Okay, that's why Japan has decided to do so. However, China has an apprehension that might not be true, that there would be pollutant or contaminated by nuclear waste. So China has decided to take precaution, and not only China, the people from Japan also have protested against this move. Okay, now as I told, that International Atomic Energy Agency has given a green flag to the project. Okay, however, we have to now understand what is IEA. Okay, IEA means International Atomic Energy Agency. Okay, IEA. It is widely known as the world's Atom for Peace Development Organization, and it is within the United Nations family. Okay, it comes under United Nations. Okay, and if we have to see, it was established in 1957. Okay, it was established in 1957, and its headquarters is Vienna, Austria. The objective of the agency is to work with its member states and multiple partners worldwide to promote safe and secure and peaceful use of nuclear technology. Now, in 2005, it was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for their work for safe and peaceful world. Clear? Now, the next news is very important because it comes under the awards section. RR bags 6 national awards. Gangubai Kataiwadi takes 5. Okay, now let's see. I can't see. It is not possible to cover the entire awards because there were a lot of awards, that are more than 70 awards. So it is not possible to cover them. However, I will try to cover most important which are relevant for your exams. Okay, first one is the best direction. It went to Nikhil Mahajan for the movie Godavari. Okay, Godavari, it was in language Marathi. He is Nikhil Mahajan. Okay, then best feature film is Rocketry, The Nambi Effect by R. Madhavan. Okay, and the language is Hindi. Okay, this one is the movie. Then best actor, Pushpa. Okay, Allu Arjun got the best actor award for Pushpa, and the language of the movie is Telugu. The best actress award went to 2 people, that is Kirti Sanan and Alia Bhatt. Okay, Kirti Sanan got best actress award for the movie Mimi. Okay, Mimi, and the language is Hindi. And Alia Bhatt got the best actress award for Gangubai Kataiwadi, and the language is Hindi. So some other aspect is best supporting actor went to Pankaj Tripathi, best supporting actress Pallavi Joshi, then best children's film Gandhi and Company, best children's film, okay sorry, it came 2 times, sorry, child actress, best child artist went to Bhavin Rabri, then best male playback singer Kala Bhairava, that is for RRR, then best female playback singer went to Shreya Ghoshal. Okay, so this were the overall awards. Okay, now next one is very important. See, Wrestling Federation of India, okay, WFI, you know the Brij Bhushan issue. Okay, he was accused of sexual harassment of the female wrestlers. So he had to step down from the president of from the post of president from Wrestling Federation of India. Now, as per the international norms, once the wrestler or the president of Wrestling Federation of India or any country steps down, another one should be elected as soon as possible, and sometimes they give a tenure or a time period of 45 days. In India's case, the UWW, that is United World Wrestling Federation, they had given India 45 days to appoint another president. However, Indian WFI didn't elect any of the president. Okay, due to which UWW, that is United World Wrestling, have decided to have decided to suspend WFI from the Wrestling Federation. Okay, so what does this implicate? It would mean that they could Indian players can play as a neutral player, not under WFI. Okay, they can't hold the flag of WFI. They can play as an individual player, as a neutral player, can't play under the WFI banner. So that is the implication, and that is basically a shameful thing for India as well. Okay, so India should also do needful, and now there is a case is ongoing on Brij Bhushan Sharma, and basically the results will come sometime maybe. So we will hope on that. And at present India has been suspended. India means Wrestling Federation of India has been suspended by UWW, that is United World Wrestling. Okay, now next one is Infosys ropes Rafael Nadal as a firm's brand ambassador. Okay, Rafael Nadal, you know, he's a player, and he has been appointed as a ambassador for Infosys and its digital innovation. Okay, he's a tennis player. Okay, so dear students, that's all for today, and we will be covering more and more current affairs aspects in the future. So stay tuned to us, and if you have not already subscribed our channel, do subscribe and click the bell icon and select the all options, so that you get the notifications of our video regularly. And also do check out our Instagram page. There also we provide informations and English videos and all that. So you can also check our playlist in which English videos are there, and some shorts are available which are providing you information regarding the so we will meet you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye bye.